Each and every show, we like to start the morning off with the morning shock news, and this morning is no different than any other. So, as you guys know, this offseason, the Kansas City Chiefs signed Juju Smith-Schuster to a 1-year deal. Juju Smith-Schuster was back in Pittsburgh for a charity event over the weekend, and he spoke to some local media saying that a trip back to Pittsburgh is not out of the question. Okay. This got my wheels turning, and this instantly just pissed me off. I'm going to be flat out honest about it. Juju Smith-Schuster has not even played a down in a Kansas City Chiefs uniform. He has not contributed to the team one way, shape, or form yet in a Kansas City Chiefs uniform. But yet he is saying that he wants to go back to Pittsburgh, that he is not closing the door on a reunion with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Come on, man. Like, what are you legitimately thinking right now? We're in minicamp. You're on a new team and you're talking about your old team. Get out of here with that crap. Then some things come to mind. So many things have come to mind here. Is he already burning a bridge in Kansas City by saying he wants to go back to Pittsburgh, or he is, I should say that he is open as a going back to Pittsburgh? Are you burning that bridge already, Juju? Are you ready to just say, I don't want to be in Kansas City anymore? Next up, what if he half-asses his play on the field? What if he decides that he is just too good to give 100% on every play? What if he decides that he wants to Vadion Clowney it? You know, give 100% of the time, 25% of the time. Then we go back to June 12th, 2022, when Juju said he wants to go back to Pittsburgh. I should say he is open to go back to Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, my man, do not burn this bridge before the bridge is even built. Do not do it, because you are going to be in a world of hurt. As me, as a Chiefs fan, I am going to dog you each and every day on this show. Granted, it won't mean that much, but your TikTok followers are not going to like it, my man. They're not going to like it. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches, won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speaks go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasha here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the blog section over there, guys. Check out the merchandise page as well. And, of course, you can check out all of the individual team shows that we do have launching over there. We have some great things happening over at manhourradio.com. We are trying to get all 32 NFL teams covered over there, and right now we have about 10. So, like we have 10 individual shows for said team. So, guys, be a part of Man Hour Nation. Definitely support those shows. So, guys, good morning here. 7 a.m. right here on the East Coast time. What is it? 3 a.m. over there on the West Coast time. I see Funky Lions fan jumping in the chat this morning. Good morning to you, my good sir. I believe, if I remember correctly, you're taking your son to school this morning. You guys have school in June still? That's kind of crazy up there in Detroit land. But then he also says that Juju is just setting him up for his next TikTok routine. What, is he going to, do the choo-choo train back to Pittsburgh there? Is that, the little bit of... Who did the cha-cha? Was that Victor Cruz that always did the cha-cha? Is he going to cha-cha himself way back to Pittsburgh? I don't know. But when I first heard that, I was like, this has just got to be some type of trollness happening, right? Like, this is just total BS. And then I heard, I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, you legitimately haven't even played it down and you're already talking about going back? Like, shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, guys, Wyatt is a little MIA this morning here, so we will get him on as soon as we can. Normally, we start the show off with a Brandon Combs call here, but he is sleeping in tonight as well, so it's just me. It is just me here for the next hour or so, guys. So I am going to go ahead and jump ahead to page number 2 on my rundown here, because Combs' questions are out. Who really wants to talk about the Chicago Bears anyways? I certainly do not, at least all by myself. But every Tuesday, is it Tuesday? What day is it? It is Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, my bad, guys. Every Tuesday, we do a if and then statement here on Man Hour Radio. I forgot to pause recording. That's my fault. I'm gonna have to edit that. That kind of sucks. But every Tuesday we do if and then statements. Usually it's myself and Wyatt, and it's a lot of good time, and we love this segment very, very much so. So basically I read a if statement, and then Wyatt and then myself give us a then statement in the end. So I got 6 of them lined up here, so let's just hammer them through them here before we start breaking down the NFC North. Spoiler alert, I had the Lions going 10 wins this season. That's right, 10-7. 10-7 with the Detroit Lions. But let's get it started here. The first if and then statement of the week here on this beautiful Tuesday morning. If the Lions wins 11 games this season, then what? So if the Detroit Lions win 11 games this season, then they win the NFC North. I think the winner of the North is going to have about 11 to 12 wins. And, you know, I do have the Lions about that 9 to 10 win mark. And if they get that 1 or 2 extra wins, it is going to come within the division. And therefore, they're going to take a win from an other division opponent, whether it be the Vikings, whether it be the Bears, whatever. I mean, I have a sway up in the Bears anyways, but whether it be the Vikings or the Packers, that is ultimately going to bump them up into that first place range. So if the Detroit Lions get 11 wins this season, they are a playoff bound team. They are winning that NFC North, and they might get their second ever playoff win. Like how crazy is that? Are they Super Bowl caliber team? Probably not. They aren't quite there yet, I don't think. They are still missing a couple pieces here or there, but they are definitely doing very, very good things in Detroit. What are they missing right now? Really, they're just missing that culture of winning, to be honest. I like Jared Goff as a quarterback there. I like their wide receiver core. They actually have a full receiver core. The defense is making really good strides. So a lot of good things happening in Detroit. 10 wins, huh? They better stay extremely healthy. You are absolutely correct. Health is going to be a big factor for the Detroit Lions this season, and I think it's going to start with the tight end position in Hockenson. If Hockenson can stay healthy for full 17 games, I think they're going to do a lot of noise here. A lot of noise. Next if and then statement here. If and then is brought to you by Skull Candy headphones. I drew a blank there, so if you guys head over to skullcandyoriginal.com, use promo code MANHOUR, save yourself 20%. Some dollar bills, y'all. That'll give you a couple tanks of gas. Not tanks, a couple gallons of gas. Anyways. Next if and then statement. If Aaron Rodgers has another MVP caliber season, then what? So as you guys know, Aaron Rodgers is a reigning MVP from 2021 and 2020. So back-to-back MVP seasons for Aaron Rodgers. So if he has another MVP caliber season, not necessarily saying that he wins the MVP, but throws up those type of stats, then the Green Bay Packers are still a first-round exit. To me, it does not matter the play of Aaron Rodgers this year for the Green Bay Packers. What is going to matter is the play of the defense. If the defense can keep people out of the end zone, out of the red zone period, the Green Bay Packers will do good things. But if Aaron Rodgers has another MVP caliber season, putting up those crazy numbers that he has been. Now, he has been very, very efficient. He has like 10 interceptions or something ridiculous over the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons or something. Absolutely stupid, ridiculous. But if Aaron Rodgers does have that MVP caliber season, that means the defense probably isn't doing their job. That means the running game isn't being very effective. That means that they're relying on Aaron Rodgers way too freaking much, and they're a first-round exit team. That's just the way it is at the end of the day. And unfortunately, for Green Bay Packers fans, you guys know this all too well, that over and over and over again, you guys fail in the playoffs, and it's because of the lack of the defense. Now, last year was the lack of the offense. Yes, I give you that. It was a 13-10 loss to the San Francisco 49ers in the divisional round. For whatever reason, San Francisco 49ers has his number. But if Aaron Rodgers throws up those MVP caliber numbers, you guys are a first-round exit again. It just sucks. As Beastie Brandon Combs, guys, should we give Beastie a call here? You know what? Let's give my man Beastie a call, because you know what? We have not spoke to him for a while here on Man Hour, and this is the NFC talk here, so we might as well throw in some Bears talk here as well. So what's up, Beastie? What's going on, man?
Not much, man. About to order me a coffee on my way to work.
Oh.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing, man. We are breaking down the NFC North so far this year. And, of course, on every Tuesday we do the if and then statements. And I had a couple if and then statements. And I'm like, you know what? Let's give Beastie a call. So let me ask you these couple if and then statements just to get a different perspective on it, okay?
Sure, let's go.
So, I mean, it's pretty cut. I mean, like, you have never done this game before, but basically I read you a if statement, and then you follow up with the then comment. It's Conjunction Tuesday, as I like to call it. So the first, the first if and then statement is, if the Detroit Lions win 11 games this season, then what?
Then Buck will party naked.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
If the Lions win 11 games this year, then they went out and got Baker Mayfield.
Really? So you think the Detroit Lions are Baker Mayfield away from having a pretty good season?
I think they're a good quarterback away. I really do.
Okay.
You know, I feel like if Matt Stafford was there even last year, I felt like they might have been a 10-11 win team. But being stuck with where they're at now, and it's not a good situation for them. So yeah, I don't see them winning 11 games unless they go and get Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and then my statement was, if they win 11 games, then they have won the division. Because like I do think the division is going to come with like 11, 12 win team this year. So the next,
you can't do that with Jared Goff, though. I mean, Jared Goff is just, I just don't understand. You know, he's just not that guy. I mean, I like their coaching staff, I really do.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing with a lot of their draft picks. I really feel like they built up a team. They just don't have a quarterback.
See, and I don't hate Jared Goff, but I'm not in love with him either. I mean, like, I think he is a good placeholder guy, and I do think that he can, you know, have a culture built in Detroit for the next guy up. Like, if, you know, he is a stepping stone to build a winning culture in the organization. So when they go get that rookie quarterback next year or 2 years down the line, the culture is like theirs, because, you know, like, I think that he is a culture guy. So we do have somebody.
Nobody's talking about the Detroit Lions going after Baker Mayfield, though. That's what I want to know.
Why are we not?
I feel like that would be a perfect scenario for the Detroit Lions, wouldn't it?
Oh, well, we have a comment rolling through here, and says that Baker Mayfield is on the exact same level as Jared Goff. He is not enough of an upgrade to improve the roster like that at all. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Who made that comment?
Funky's Lion fan. So a true Detroit Lions fan.
Wow.
And then he also says that Jared Goff is Detroit's Alex Smith, which I like Alex Smith, and that is not a knock at all. Like, Alex Smith won a lot of football games in Kansas City.
I think Jared Goff is more of Detroit's Mitch Trubisky. I think that might be a more honest statement. He's a guy that when he's in a good, when he's got a good defense, when he's got, a bunch of studs around him like he had in LA, he can perform. But, he's not that guy. He's not an accurate quarterback. He makes a lot of mistakes. He tends to throw that timely interception.
Right.
And it's just, to me, I think if you're going to compare him to anybody, I'd compare him to Mitch Trubisky before I compare him to Alex Smith. And look, Mitch Trubisky went to the playoffs twice. Under Matt Nagy. But Mitch Trubisky also had great defenses both of those years. So,
True.
It's not, if Jared Goff only had to score 17 points a game or 15 points a game, he would be all right. But with what the Detroit Lions have done and what they, what they're doing now, he might get to that point because that defense is vastly improved. But I just, that's what he needs. He can't be one of those guys who's got to go out there and score, 25 to 30 points a game because he just doesn't have it in him.
Yeah, so just to clarify the comment about the Alex Smith thing, he did clarify saying that he is not a Jared Goff fan at all. He is just referring as Alex Smith as being a bridge to the next guy. Gotcha. We're kind of on the same page here. So the next if and then statement here, this is all geared toward NFC North talk, since that is what we're breaking down to today, Combs. If the Minnesota Vikings win the division, then
it's par for the course because I think they are going to win the division. I think, obviously the Bears and Lions are retooling. I don't want to say rebuilding, but retooling. I think the Lions have been in a rebuild for 25 years. The Bears have been there, ever since they drafted Mitch Trubisky. But so I think both of them are retooling, and I don't think the Green Bay Packers are going to win much more than 8 games this year. I really don't. I think, you're going to find out why you don't pay an aging quarterback so much money and lose everybody else around you. And the Minnesota Vikings are just, they're that team. Look, everybody say what you want about Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins puts up top 10 quarterback numbers year in and year out, and nobody talks about it.
Right.
Kirk Cousins in what they have going on there in Minnesota, that wide receiving core is filthy. Justin Jefferson might be a top 3 wide receiver in the game right now.
Right.
And I don't see any way Minnesota doesn't win this division unless somehow, the Green Bay Packers, which they are tending to do. I talk about all the time with baseball. The St. Louis Cardinals just, no matter who they throw on the field, they always find a way to win.
Somehow, some way.
If that's what the Green Bay Packers do and they find a way to win 13, 14 games, I think the Vikings it's going to be a dogfight all the way down to the end, but I think the Vikings are going to walk away with this division, to be honest with you.
Right, and so if the Minnesota Vikings win the division, then Kirk Cousins has been the answer in Minnesota the whole time, and the coaching staff has what's been holding them back. Just because really the only thing that has changed on the Minnesota Vikings roster this season is they have a new head coach. Yes, they have a couple pieces here or there, right? But the core of the Minnesota Vikings is still there, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They have Adam Thielen still. They have JJ. They have Delvin Cook. They have Kirk Cousins. The only thing that is new is the offense and the head coach. So, therefore, if the Minnesota Vikings win the division, it's because the head coach has been shit the whole time, Combs.
Well, and that's the case. I feel like the Minnesota Vikings have been in the same trance that the Chicago Bears have been in for the last 3 to 4 years, right? They were stuck underneath a head coach who wouldn't give up the play calling and who was terrible with play calling. and he was just, they were stuck. They were, the play calling last year for the Minnesota Vikings was atrocious.
Yeah.
And the Minnesota Vikings have probably, now that Green Bay has pretty much disbanded their offense, they probably have the most talented offense in the division. And they're going to be very dangerous even outside of the division. So I don't I think that them losing their head coach was just as good as it was for the Bears. I mean, we gave a lot of flack to Matt Nagy and how he needed to go. That, we kind of lost sight of what was going on in Minnesota, and they were in the same exact situation.
Right. So let me ask you this: do you have the Minnesota Vikings winning the division this season?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to break them down later here in the show, so I'm not going to give it too spoiler yet. But I do not have them winning division. I actually have them finishing third in the division. So
you're picking a Lions again, aren't you?
I actually am not. But it is a team that has a single letter as a logo, so that narrows it down to two of them, right?
Oh,
So go Bears, go. So with that being said here, Combs, the next if and then statement that I have wrote down here is if Justin Fields throws for 4,200 yards this season, then what?
Then he's progressing like the Bears need him to. Look, the Bears, I've talked about this at length with a lot of people that I talk with on a daily basis. The Bears don't have to win 10 games for Justin Fields to show progress.
Right.
The Bears don't have to win a division or go to the playoffs for Justin Fields to show progress. But the Bears are going to be a lot better than people think, and the only reason why they're going to be better than what people think is because of the schedule that they are running. Their out-of-division schedule is, it's as close to a cakewalk as you can get. And I think they're going to be better than what people think. At first, I had them as maybe a 4 to 5 win team. With everything that they're doing, they are in the middle of a rebuild. They've let a lot of people go. I know there's a lot of rumors going around right now that Robert Quinn to Seattle for DK Metcalf is a real possibility. I don't see it, but especially if that happens, they're going to be a lot better than people think. But look, the Bears, I think, are probably now an 8, maybe even a 9-win team. As long as Justin Fields shows progress. And I think him heading into a season where he knows he's going to be the starter, where he knows he's the leader of this team, where he knows he's the franchise quarterback, and I like what they did at the wide receiver core. I like the speed they added. They built around Justin's strengths. And his strengths are wide receivers that can catch quick balls and run routes. And that's what they went and built. And so I really am excited about what the Bears are starting to do. Do I think they're the top team in the division? I don't. I think they finished 3rd or 4th in this division. I think they'll compete with the Lions for the basement. But I think that the Chicago Bears are on the rise. I think if Justin Fields throws for 2,200 yards this season, I think that he's going to be showing signs of improvement. I'd like to see him over the 3,000-yard mark, obviously. But again, this offensive line is being rebuilt.
Right.
I'm still not sure what they're doing there. They're talking about moving all sorts of guys around and playing them out of position. And, they took Tevin Jenkins now, the big guard that they took last year. Big tackle that they took last year, and they want to make him a guard this year. So I don't know what they're doing on that side of the thing, but if he can throw for 22 to 3,000 yards, I think he'll be showing signs of improvement.
Yeah, so people in the chat kind of took the words out of my mouth, so I'm going to go to my second option here. If Justin Fields throws for 4,200 yards this season, then the receivers have a lot of yards after catch. Just because everything that you said there, the offensive line is being rebuilt. The offensive line is terrible. Probably one of the worst offensive line of all in the NFL. and they have a lot of speed guys on that wide receiver core. Byron Pringle comes to mind. If you can get Byron Pringle in the open field and able to make some moves, he is going to get you 30, 40 yards per catch, per play there. But with that being said, there's going to be a lot of nickel and diming down the field, and that is how he is going to get a lot of his yards, is yards after catch. So if Justin Fields throws for 4,200 yards plus this season, the yards after catch is probably going to be about 25 to maybe 2,700 yards. Over half of them, I think, will be yards after catch this season. So don't get it twisted that if he does throw for 4,000 yards, that the Bears are going to be some astronomically good playoff-bound team. Just like Funky Lion said here in the chat, it's probably because their defense is so trash. They are going to have probably one of the worst defenses in the division, and unfortunately, that is what the Bears have been built on for many, 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 many years. Super Bowl, right, Combs, was built off the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately, if he's throwing the ball that much, they're also playing catch-up a lot. So, I mean, it is a double-edged sword.
He'd also be the first Bears quarterback to ever throw for 4,000 yards in a season. Isn't that insane?
Jay Cutler never threw for 4,000 yards?
No.
Wow.
No, there's never been a Bears quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards in a season.
That is crazy to me. So I know we're getting up against the time here. You got to go start your workday. So I got two more for you. So let's get through them quickly here. If the winner of the North wins the Super Bowl, then
wow. If the winner of the North wins the Super Bowl, then our boys at Twist are going to be very, very happy, right?
Right.
We're going to have, Mike Reeves is going to be unbearable to listen to and talk to because the Minnesota Vikings are winning the Super Bowl. And I don't think it's a very far-fetched idea. I think that the Minnesota Vikings are going to be a lot of trouble in and out of the division. And so that's where I'd go with it.
Yes, and then I'm going to go with the exact opposite. If the winner of the Super Bowl comes from the North, it is going to be a surprise team. It is not going to be the Vikings. It is not going to be the Packers. It is probably going to be the Chicago Bears, just because they kind of have that. They kind of have that built of the Baltimore Ravens team from 2001 when I think they won the Super Bowl with Ray Lewis and those boys and Trent Dilfer. I mean, they are going to win off of that defensive side of the ball, and I think the defense is going to be either really good or really bad. So,
this is the most all right. First of all, if you pick I'm listening later, and if you pick the Bears to win the division, I'm going to slap you.
Are you?
You're out of the wedding if that happens.
Okay, that's
because you've been picking the Lions for 2 straight years and they've been horse shit.
Right.
And then you come back and you say if the Bears win the North, they're going to win the Super Bowl, and if they win the Super Bowl, it's because they're the defensive side of the thing. 2 seconds after you said they've got the worst defense in the division.
Yes, because I do think their defense is going to be really, really good or really, really bad. There's no mediocrity point for that defense this season.
Wow. I'll be extremely happy.
Of course you will.
If that were to happen, but I don't see it. I really don't. I just want them to improve. And then I want them to go out and do some stuff for free agency at the end of the year.
Yep.
And I want to be excited for next season. I mean, that's really what I want to see. I want to see this year. I want to see growth out of Justin Fields. I want to see proof that he's our franchise quarterback. Because as much as I love Justin Fields, and I do believe he is the franchise quarterback, I'm still a Bears fan, so I still need to see it happen before I will believe it.
All right, so the final if and then statement, let's go the exact opposite here. If the NFC North has the first overall pick, then
if the NFC North has the first overall pick, then either the Bears don't have their franchise quarterback, or the Detroit Lions really need to pick up a quarterback because Jared Goff has to go.
Wow. And take everything that I said in the previous statement here. If the win, if the win, or sorry, like if the North wins or goes to the Super Bowl, it is going to be the Bears. And if the North has the first overall pick, it's going to be the Chicago Bears as well. I think the Chicago Bears have such a high ceiling and such a low floor. They're either going to be really, really good or really, really, really bad this season. And unfortunately, as my friend, it just sucks to say that, but I think that is just where they are. They're either really, really bad or really, really good. And I don't think we can truly judge Justin Fields on this season, though, Combs, because this is technically his rookie season all over again, because he does have a brand new head coach, so his second head coach in 2 seasons. So he's basically starting from square one all over again. So you have to give Justin Fields at least a year in the system to really give him a full judgment. Don't you think a little bit?
I do. And that's what I've been telling a lot of people. They're like, well, the Bears have to make the playoffs in order for me to believe in Justin Fields. I'm like, why? The guy had a trash offense his rookie year, was thrown into it, didn't know whether or not he was even going to play.
Right.
And then his second season, he's got a whole new system he has to learn. So I don't think necessarily that way. I don't think you have to make the playoffs in order to see progression out of Justin Fields. I'm not a believer in that. I think you can see progression through 4 to 5 wins. And I know you said it as your friend, it sucks for you to say it, but look, Wyatt and Tori are my friends too, and I would love to say that the Green Bay Packers fucking only won 1 game this year.
Well, that's also a division. That is your division rivalry, though. I mean, let's just be honest. You never want to see the Packers do good.
Well, that's true. I mean, I never want to see any other team in the North do good.
Right.
But sometimes you just got to be realistic about stuff,
Right. Well, realistically, you got to get to work, man, and we'll definitely. I always enjoy our chats, and I cannot wait till we get to be on camera again. I like again, man.
Yes, sir. It's coming.
All right,
couple more months, but it's coming.
It's coming, baby. Just keep on going. All right, Combs. Well, have a great day, man. We'll give you a call and tomorrow morning.
All right, sir.
All right, guys. So that is my man, Beastie Combs there. As we do every morning here about 7:15 East Coast time, we get him on the phone just to shoot the shit and just to see how his day's going. I see Jameson jumping in the chat here saying that the Bears will be terrible. Jameson, I do agree with you to an extent. I think they're going to be really, really good or really, really bad, just like I was telling with Combs. I don't think there's no 500 point. It's either 200 or 900, right? They're going to be boom, boom on total opposite spectrums in the scale there. Dr. Detroit is in the chat. He says Lions are going to smack a few teams in the mouth this season. I do agree with you. Dr. Detroit, and that is exactly, guys, where we are going to start our NFC North schedule breakdown here is with the Detroit Lions. That's right, it is the Detroit Lions. Last season they did finish 4th in the division with a 3-13-1 record. However, I think they pretty much nailed the draft. They drafted Adrian Hutchinson with their first pick in the 2022 NFL draft, and then Jameson Williams, a wide receiver, and their 12th overall pick as well. So they had 2 first-round picks, and I think they nailed them on both, and they definitely got the needs that they really, really needed on both of those sides of the ball. So when we look at the Detroit Lions schedule here, it is it's a really a mind-boggling schedule because they play a lot of really good teams that actually had the potential to be good, but they haven't been good in years past. So obviously with the fourth place ranking from last season, they're going to have a 4th place schedule here. So week number 1, they do open up at home versus the Philadelphia Eagles. That is a win all day long. The Eagles have nothing for the Detroit Lions. Playing in Ford Field First game of the season. You Detroit fans, you guys are so rowdy at home. It is just ridiculous. First, and then the opening game of the of the year at home. Give me the Lions all day long. Game number 2, the Commanders come into town. The Commanders are a very intriguing team to me because the quarterback situation, Carson Wentz, right? Scary Terry not showing up for minicamp. This might really change my my view on this game. I might give it to Detroit, but as of right now, I do have them losing to the Commanders week 2. Week 3, they travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings win this game. The Vikings are going to be good early. They're going to be clicking on all cylinders early, even though Thielen is having a tough time learning the playbook. They're still going to be good. They're still going to be good early. Week number 4, Seahawks. Give me the Lions all day long. Seahawks have nothing for the Lions, especially at home, traveling from West Coast to East Coast. It is done. Week 5, travel to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. As much as I want to give the Detroit Lions this game, for whatever reason, the Patriots are really, really good. They don't have this star power player. They don't have a star power quarterback. Yes, Mac Jones is good, but he's not a star power guy. He might be in the league for about 8-10 years, and that's about it. But the Patriots are going to win this game. Week 6 is the bye week. Week 7, travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Give me the Lions. As a passive Cowboys fan, I got my Cowboys hat right here. That pains me to say. My dad's a Detroit fan. I'm a passive Cowboys fan. I gotta give the Lions this win, especially coming off of a bye. Week number 8, taking on the Dolphins, the highly overrated Dolphins. Detroit, you guys are going to hand the Dolphins an L. Take Tyreek Hill and wham baby right up his booty hole, if you know what I'm saying. Week number 9, Packers come to town. Unfortunately, guys, I got to give the Packers this win. The Packers, they are going to come off a few big losses coming into this game, and they're going to be pissed off. They're going to hand you guys a big L. Next 2 weeks on the road versus the Bears and the Giants, both wins on the road. Then we're back at home, week number 12, take on the Buffalo Bills. This is a Thanksgiving game, if I'm not mistaken. But give me the Detroit Lions over the Buffalo Bills, Thanksgiving Day. That's right. I think Jared Goff has a coming out party. I got to cough again. Excuse me. Jared Goff has a coming out party in this game. Throws probably 4 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift probably runs for 1 or 2 touchdowns. It is going to be like a 35, 42 point score to like 10. The Lions are going to wham it on the Buffalo Bills. And then they play the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. The following Sunday, they beat the Jaguars as well. Week 14, the Vikings come into town. The Vikings get that win. Week 15, on the road versus the New York Jets. You beat the Jets. And then these last 3 weeks, these are very, very crucial games, guys, because like right now, I had the Detroit Lions sitting at 9 wins. I think 11 wins the division. So right now, we're sitting at 9 wins. Week 16, travel to Carolina. This is a Saturday game to take on the Panthers. Unfortunately, the Carolina Panthers want to play that spoiler role, and they beat the Detroit Lions week 16. Week 17, the Chicago Bears come into town. The Bears have nothing for the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are playing for the playoffs lives right now, and they beat the Bears 13-10, 14-10 type score. Week 18, travel to Lambeau. Packers unfortunately sweep the series again. So I do have the Detroit Lions finishing 10-7 this season, 2-4 in the division. So that is a very, very key there, is 2-4 in the division. Keep that in mind moving forward here. So jump into the chat here. I saw a couple here. Funky Lions fans I see the opposite. I want the other 3 teams to be good. That way the Lions are in the division. Okay. Yeah, true. The Lions are going to definitely beat the Philly. If not, it's going to be an L. Oh, if the Lions run defense shows up, they can beat the Philly, but if not, it's going to be an L. I think they beat Philly either way. I don't care if they have freaking AJ Brown or not, to be honest with you. And Funky Lions fan says the Lions game or the Dallas games, the Lions are coming off a bye, and Dallas, I believe, plays 2 road games before it. Yes, I love Detroit in that situation 100%. And also, guys, if you are familiar, the Cowboys always start the first 3, 4, 5 games hot. Always, 3-0, 3-1 type of situation, and then they skid like the next 3 or 4 games. Week 7, playing a hungry Detroit team coming off a bye week, an early bye week, and shoot, yeah, I definitely like the Detroit in that one. So I do have the Detroit Lions going 10-7 on the season here. Really, really excited about them. Do they win the division? I don't know. We will figure it out here. Who do we have up next? We have the Green Bay Packers next. So obviously last year the Green Bay Packers finished first in the division. They were 13-4. They do have a 2-time or two years in a row MVP and Aaron Rodgers. However, they did lose to the 49ers in the divisional round 13-10 in the 2021 NFL season. Now, the Packers do start on the road versus the Vikings, and I do have them beating the Vikings week number 1. Week 2, they're at home taking on the Bears. Give me the Packers in that one. Now, this next stretch of games here, they play the Buccaneers, the Patriots, the Giants, and the Jets. This is kind of intriguing to me 100% because they could either go really, really good in this stretch or really, really bad in this stretch. Because if you lose to the Bucs and the Patriots back to back, you can easily be very, very pissed off at yourself and be losing to the Giants and Jets both at home. Definitely not uncalled for at all, right? But I do have the Bucs beating the Packers a week 3 here. A Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers thing. I do believe that Tom Brady is undefeated versus Aaron Rodgers as well. And then week number 4, the Patriots come into town. I do have the Packers winning that game. And then week 5 here. Week 5, the New York Giants come into town. So right now the Packers are sitting at 3-1 on the season. Their only loss coming to the Buccaneers. Probably a pretty good Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Every season, the Green Bay Packers forget to show up one game. Normally is versus the San Francisco 49ers. Normally it is a blowout game on the road. This year is going to be at home versus the New York Football Giants. People are going to be wondering if the Green Bay Packers fell off or the New York Football Giants are just that good. The Giants come into Lambeau Field and thud the Green Bay Packers week 5. I'm talking like they just shut them down. Aaron Rodgers has like 3 interceptions, right? Yes, I know he has like 10 interceptions the last 3 seasons, right? I get it. He's going to have 3 interceptions in this game. Saquon Barkley is going to be running all over that defense. They're going to look really, really good. But enough about the Giants. Week 6, the Jets are at home. The Packers win that game. Week 7 here, the Green Bay Packers go to Washington, D.C. to take on the Commanders. Give me the Commanders in that one. To continue the trend, they're on the road versus the Buffalo Bills. They lose that one as well. Week number 9, they're in Ford Field, 3 road games in a row. They do beat the Detroit Lions, as we just said. And then they have the Cowboys at home. Mike McCarthy comes home to take on the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field for the first time since he departed, right? The Cowboys win that one. Thursday night game, week 11, the Packers beat the Titans. I do have that game. I just don't like the Titans. Ryan Tannehill has this drama happening with the rookie quarterback, name slipping my mind right now, Willis, right? A.J. Brown's gone. King Henry's hurt, or probably going to be hurt again because they're going to use him. Packers win that game on Thursday night. Week 12, they travel to Philly to take on the Eagles. Give me the Packers. Now, Sunday night game, Packers versus the Bears at Soldier Field. Give me the Bears. Going to week 14 bye week. Week 15 taking on the L.A. Rams. Monday Night Football, give me the Packers. I believe the Packers have a 75% winning percentage off of a bye week. Week 16, they beat Miami Dolphins on Sunday night game. And then the final 2 games of the season, Vikings versus Lions, both at home. They win both of those games. They win both of them, giving them an 11-6 record on the season and the 5-1 in the division. I do have the Green Bay Packers winning the division this season at 11 wins. Now, this is not the 13, 14 wins that we are accustomed to, so we will see how they do moving forward into the playoffs. Maybe they have to play the last couple weeks, and it keeps them going, right? So maybe Aaron Rodgers is like, hey, maybe, I can't relax and I got to, perform. Who knows? Probably a first-round exit still, but we will decide that when time comes due. Funky Lion fan says, I have a feeling that this year Aaron comes close to beating his throwaway record. I don't see the picks, but throwaways are coming this year. What is his throwaway record? Like how many throwaways does he have this particular season? Because looking at the receiving core, did Lazard sign yet? Because Lazard was holding out for some more money the last I knew. Who was her tied in? That's always hurt. Mercedes. It's not Mercedes Lewis. I can't think of their tied in. But I don't even know who their freaking receivers are besides Lazard, since Adams is gone, MSV is gone. Is Randall Cobb still on the team? Hell, he's 95 years old, right? Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you, Funky, the Lions fan. I do think that the Aaron Rodgers is smart enough not to throw interceptions. I mean, I probably should rephrase that, but everybody's bound to have a bad game at some point, throw some interceptions and whatnot, but I don't know. It is what it is. So, moving on to the next team in the division, the team that will be finishing last place in the NFC North. That's right. I said the last place team in the NFC North, and that is going to be the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears did finish third last season in the NFC North, finishing the record of 6-11. They drafted Kyle Gordon, cornerback from Washington, in their first pick, but it was not till the second round, 7th overall. But they do have a new head coach and a new general manager, with a potential, air quotes there, franchise quarterback in Justin Fields. So, week number 1, they open up at home, Soldier Field versus the San Francisco 49ers. This is very intriguing to me because San Francisco 49ers, I think they're a very, very good team if Jimmy G is being the quarterback. If Jimmy G is not the quarterback, the San Francisco 49ers are probably a 5-win team at best. I do have the Chicago Bears winning week 1. Week 2, we had the Packers beating them. Week 3, the Houston Texans coming to Soldier Field. Give me the Bears in that one as well. Week number 4, Chicago Bears and Justin Fields travel to Danny Dimes and the New York Football Giants. This is a Danny Dimes coming out party. Danny Dimes is going to throw all over the field and at least trip over the 40-yard line at least twice in this game, but it doesn't matter because the Giants are going to wax that ass all up and down the field. The Bears forget to show up. Week 5, they continue to forget to show up versus the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings wax that ass again. But then Thursday Night Football comes around. Short work week. They've already got smacked in the mouth twice. It's time to move on. Washington Commanders come into town, and they beat the Commanders at home on Thursday Night Football in Week 6. Week number 7, Monday Night Football, they travel to Patriots. It's not even close. Patriots are just too good of a football team for the Chicago Bears. Week 8, the Cowboys beat the Bears as well in Texas Stadium. Week number 9, I do not like the Miami Dolphins whatsoever. Not because they took my man Tyreek Hill, not because of this, and this. They're just not a very good football team. They're going to be the most overrated football team in all of football, and the Bears prove it week number 9 when they wax that ass when the Miami Dolphins come into Soldier Field. Just not going to happen. Week 10, obviously the Detroit Lions beat the Bears. I mean, obviously, right? Week number 11, the Bears travel to Atlanta to take on probably Desmond Ridder. Sorry, Marcus Mariota, but I don't think you are going to be the starter there. Desmond Ridder, the Falcons beat the Bears week 11. Week 12, Zach Wilson and the mighty Jets, Jets beat the Chicago Bears. Bears are just not looking very good right now. They win a game, lose 2 in a row. They win a game, they win 2 in a row. That trend does not happen. Week 13, they lose to the Packers again. Week 14 is the bye week. Week 15, the Philadelphia Eagles come into town. Are we looking at a quarterback change? No, not quite yet. The Chicago Bears do beat the Eagles. Week 16, circle this game here, guys. The Buffalo Bills come into Soldier Field. Saturday night game. I believe this is the 8 o'clock game, if I'm not mistaken. They come into Soldier Field, and I think the Chicago Bears beat the Buffalo Bills Week 16. Not because the Buffalo Bills are a bad team, but every team has that game where they just forget to show up. Buffalo Bills forget to show up Week 16 versus the Chicago Bears. Week 17, I do got the Lions beating the Bears. Week 18, the Minnesota Vikings beat the Bears at Soldier Field, giving the Chicago Bears a 7-10 record to end the season. Not terrible, but not great either. I mean, it's definitely better than a lot of 4 to 5 wins that many people are predicting. I do like the Bears in a sense that they are building a good team. But I don't think Justin Fields is the answer. Is the long-term answer. To refer to guys earlier in the chat here, he is a good stepping stone quarterback. He is a good quarterback to build a foundation with and bring somebody else in to learn how to win. So, sorry, Bears fans. You guys can get all excited about drafting a black quarterback in the first round all you want. Justin Fields is not your answer in the end. So, besides Brisker, I didn't like that at all. So you guys referring to the Bears draft here. So what the Bears only have 5 draft picks, right? Was it 5 or 6? I mean, when you don't get your first pick till the 7th pick in the 7th or in the 2nd round, and you draft a receiver, yes, it was a very deep receiver class. But Jameson Williams, I don't know if he is going to translate very well into the NFL. I don't think he is going to be the guy. He reminds me of a Jeremy Maclin when the Kansas City Chiefs drafted the guy from Missouri. Great college player. Had super high potential. Just could not translate his college game into the NFL. So it is what it is. So I'm getting close in time here. So I gotta break down the Minnesota Vikings. I believe in the chat here we have people have the 50% of the chat has the Minnesota Vikings winning the division. I do not have them winning the division. I have them finishing 3rd in division at 9-8. They just, I don't have faith in this team whatsoever. Sorry guys, if I keep looking over there, I'm waiting for my HVAC guy. It's like 105 degrees and my AC's broke, so that's pretty exciting. That's the main reason why I got to go, which I think he just pulled up, to be honest with you. But I do have the Minnesota Vikings going 9-8 on the season. Some notable games here. I do have them losing to the Saints. I have them. I actually had the Miami Dolphins beating the Vikings week 6. Week number 8, I do have the Arizona Cardinals beating the Vikings as well, even though they're coming off a bye. The Buffalo Bills beat the Vikings. The Vikings do have a 4-game winning streak later in the season versus the Cowboys, Patriots, Jets, and Lions. And then the Colts come to town, wax that ass week 15. And then they finish out the season with 3 losses in a row. Jameson is going to be a beast. Is that Jameson Crowder? Yeah, I think Jameson Crowder will be good. No. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm all flustered now with the HVAC walking up here. But guys, that's going to be it for today. I will be on tonight just to bullshit with y'all. If you guys want to, just hang out and have a good time, feel free to bring some fire into the chat. Tomorrow, NFC North Breakdown. Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, and Browns. See if Deshaun Watson is up to 26 victims at that particular point. Only time will know. He did take the offense down to South Padre, was it? Maybe the whole offense got massages. Is that too soon? We'll see you guys tonight. In about 12 hours. Love y'all.